You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. These are your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Wednesday, July the 29th, 2020. The Orioles and Red Sox played each other in an AL East matchup, and the Red Sox won this game by a 9-5 final score. Martin Perez got his fourth win of the season. Hunter Harvey got the loss, and Ryan Brazier now with 3 saves on the season. The Orioles had the lead early. They scored 3 in the top of the second, but the game went back and forth, and the Red Sox broke out in the 5th inning with a 4-run bottom of the 5th. The Red Sox scored in the 6th, and each team scored in the 8th, yielding to the 9-5 Red Sox victory. A battle of two of the teams from Florida in Major League Baseball, the Marlins and the Rays. Final score of this game, 4-0. The Rays won. Blake Snell got the win. He's now 7-5, and Jordan Yamamoto got the loss. He's now evened out at 7-7. AL Central Baseball played between the Tigers and the White Sox. This was a close game. 2-1 was the final score. The White Sox scored first. They got a run in the bottom of the 3rd, and they tacked on an extra in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Tigers scored their first and only run in the top of the 8th inning. They didn't score past that point, which yielded them losing by 1 run in this game. Dallas Keuchel got the win. He's now 7-3. Daniel Norris got the loss, and Alex Colome now with 28 saves on the season with the White Sox. The Blue Jays and Angels played each other. 6-2 the final score of this game. The Blue Jays came out on top. There was early offense in this game. The Blue Jays got 5 runs in the top of the 1st. The Angels responded with a 2-run bottom of the 1st inning. Then the Blue Jays tacked on an extra in the 3rd. Neither team scored after that point, and the Blue Jays won by 4. They also out-hit the Angels 12-4 in this one. Chase Anderson got the win, and Tyler Glasnow got the loss. Interleague play between two teams with the 2 best records in Major League Baseball. The Los Angeles Dodgers with the 2nd best record, and the Minnesota Twins with the best record. The Dodgers won this game, though, 7-4 the final. The Dodgers were losing up until the top of the 9th inning when they scored 5 runs to take the lead. The Twins got a run in the bottom of the 9th inning, but they failed to come back after having the lead for most of the game. Joe Kelly got the win out of the bullpen. Tyler Duffy got the loss, and he also blew the save, and Kenley Jansen turned that around and earned his 36th save of the season. The Royals and Indians played each other, AL Central Baseball, and the Indians snuck away with this win. 2-1 was the final score. The Royals out-hit the Indians 4-3, but the Indians made it count in the bottom of the 9th inning. They scored 2 to walk it off. Phil Maytone got the win, and Ian Kennedy blew the save and got the loss, his 3rd of the year. The Rangers and Mariners played each other in an AL West matchup, and the Rangers won this game by a 4-2 final score. The Rangers started scoring early. They got 3 in the top of the 1st inning to take the lead, a lead which they didn't relinquish, and they didn't even need that run in the 5th inning because the Mariners only scored 2 runs overall. They got 2 in the bottom of the 8th inning and failed to make a full comeback, and they lost. Mike Minor got the win, Yusei Kikuchi got the loss, and Jose Leclerc is now at 24 saves on the year. Another AL West matchup between the Athletics and the Astros saw the Athletics win in extra innings. 5-4 was the final score. The Athletics are 1st in the AL West, and the Astros are 2nd in the AL West. It was tied after 9 innings, so the 10th inning saw no runs, and then it moved to the 11th where the Athletics put up 2 runs. It was 5-3. The Astros almost came back. They got a run in the bottom of the 11th inning, but they failed to make a full comeback, and they ended up losing. The Astros also out-hit the A's in this game 8-7. Paul Blackburn got the win, Brad Peacock got the loss, and Liam Hendricks earned his 35th save of the season. The Reds and Braves played each other 5-4, the final score of this game. It was quite even. Each team had 10 hits, and the Reds only won by 1 run. Sonny Gray got the win, Mike Soroka got the loss, and Raisel Iglesias is now at 21 saves on the season. The Cardinals and Brewers played each other in an NL Central matchup. Final score of this game, 2-1. It was close, but the Cardinals came out with the win. John Brebbia got the win out of the bullpen. David Phelps got the loss, and Giovanni Gallegos now with 36 saves on the season. Subway Series in New York, battle of the Yankees and the Mets. And the Mets won this game. 3-2 is the final score. The Yankees scored first. They got 2 runs in the top of the 4th inning to take the lead. The Mets scored 1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. That made it a 1-run game. Then the Mets tied the game in the bottom of the 8th before walking it off in the bottom of the 9th inning. And they won by a run. Robert Geiselman got the win, and Jonathan Holder got the loss. The Nationals beat the Rockies by 4 runs. 8-4 was the final score of this game. The Nationals scored the bulk of their runs in the first 3 innings, and they did it in order. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, and 3 in the third. They also tacked on 2 more in the 7th inning. Meanwhile, the Rockies didn't really get it going until the later innings, and they couldn't keep pace with the Nationals in this one. They got a run early, and then they scored in the 6th, the 8th, and the 9th, but they only scored in ones, which caused them to lose. Patrick Corbin got the win, Kyle Freeland got the loss, and Sean Doolittle has reached 30 saves this season. The Phillies and Diamondbacks played each other, and the Phillies won by a large margin, 15-3. The final score of this game. The Phillies started scoring early, and they didn't stop until the 8th inning. Jake Arrieta got the win, and Robbie Ray got the loss. The Pirates and Padres played each other, and the Padres shut out the Pirates 8-0 was the final score of this game. Garrett Richards got the win, and Joe Musgrove got the loss. And the Giants beat the Cubs by a 6-4 final score. The Giants scored first in the 4th inning. The Cubs tied it up in the 5th, but then the Giants offense broke out in the 6th. It was a 3-run 6th inning. They also scored 2 in the 7th inning. While the Cubs were clawing their way back, they couldn't make it fully back, and they ended up losing. Derek Rodriguez got the win, Kyle Hendricks got the loss, and Tony Watson now has 26 saves on the season. Let's take a look at standings now, starting in the American League East. The New York Yankees still lead. They're 65-42, though they lost today. The Blue Jays gained a game on the Yankees after winning today. They're 60-49, 6 games back. The Red Sox 55-53, they're 10.5 games back. They won today against the Orioles. The Rays won today against the Marlins. They're 53-55, 12.5 games back. And the Orioles lost to the Red Sox today. They've also lost 8 of their last 10 games. They're continuing to struggle. They're 42-67, 24 games back in the Yankees. In the American League Central, the Minnesota Twins still lead. They still have the best record in baseball as well. They're 75-35, though they lost to the Dodgers today. The White Sox are 62-46, 12 games back. They won today. The Indians have won 3 in a row. They're 60-48, 14 games back at first. The Tigers in 4th place, 46-63 is their record. They're 28.5 games back. And the Royals have amounted a 4-game losing streak. They've also lost 8 of their last 10 games. They're 35-73, 39 games back at first. And in the American League West, the Oakland Athletics beat the Astros today. They're 65-43, and they still lead the division. The Astros move a game back of the A's. They're 63-45, now 2 games back. The Angels lost today. They're 48-61, 17.5 games back. The Rangers won today. They're 45-64, 20.5 games back in 4th place. And the Mariners are in last. 44-65 is their overall record, and they're 21.5 games back of the A's for 1st place. Here are the wildcard standings in the American League. It's still close between the Astros and the White Sox. The Astros have the top wildcard spot. They're 63-45, but the White Sox gained a game on the Astros since the Astros lost today and the White Sox won. The White Sox now a game back of that first wildcard spot with a 62-46 record. The Indians are 2 games back of that second wildcard spot. They're 60-48. They've gotten hot recently. They've won their last 3 games. The Blue Jays also still in contention. They're 60-49, 2.5 games back. The Red Sox haven't gotten hot enough to move up any games, but they're still lingering around with a 55-53 record, and they're 7 games back of the White Sox. Every other team in the American League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 9 games back of that second wildcard spot. In the National League East, the Washington Nationals still lead. They're on a winning streak now. They've won 4 in a row. They're 63-47 overall. The Marlins are 58-51, 4.5 games back. They lost to the Rays today. The Braves also lost today. They're 57-51, 5 games back at first. The Phillies are 53-56. They've gotten hot recently. They've won their last 3 games, and they've also won 8 of their last 10. They're 9.5 games back, and they're crawling back to a 500 winning percentage. And the Mets are still in last place. They're 49-58, 12.5 games back of the Nationals. In the National League Central, the St. Louis Cardinals still lead. They're 62-48, and they've been doing well recently. They've won their last 3 games. The Cubs are not keeping pace with the Cardinals. The Cubs are 57-51, 4 games back, and they lost today to the Giants. The Brewers are 49-58, 11.5 games back, and they've lost their last 3 games, also 8 of their last 10. The Reds are 46-62, 15 games back. They've won their last 2 games, and the Pirates are still in last. They got shut out by the Padres today. They're 41-67, 20 games back at first. In the National League West, the Los Angeles Dodgers beat the team with the best record in baseball today, the Twins. The Dodgers now 73-36. The Dodgers still have the second best record in all of baseball, and they still have a large lead in the NL West. The Padres, the next best team, they're 58-51. They passed the Diamondbacks. The Padres now 15 games back in second place. The Diamondbacks are 15.5 games back. 57-51 is their overall record, and they've lost their last 3 games. The Rockies have also lost 3 straight, and they've lost 8 of their last 10. They're 44-65, 29 games back of the Dodgers. And the Giants still reside in last place. They're 42-66, 30.5 games back of first. And here are the wildcard standings in the National League. There's still some teams that are close to each other. The Marlins and the Padres are tied for the top wildcard spot. They have 58 and 51 overall records. And you have three teams tied right behind those two. The Cubs, Braves, and Diamondbacks all have 57 and 51 records, and they're all a half game back of, well, either wildcard spot, because both the Marlins and Padres are tied for first. Every other team in the National League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 5 games back of the top 2 wildcard spots. Let's take a look at league leaders, starting with batting average leaders in the American League. Miguel Cabrera has a .347 average. He still has the best average in the AL. JD Martinez second best at a .333, and Xander Bogaerts third best at a .332. In the National League, Nolan Arenado leads with a .346. He's tied with Christian Yelich, though they're close. Arenado's is slightly higher than Yelich's is, but Yelich also at a .346, second best in the National League. And Jonathan Villar, third best at a .345. Hits leaders in the American League, Miguel Cabrera has the most at 146, JD Martinez two behind him with 144, and Miguel Andujar third most with 143. In the National League, Jonathan Villar leads with 157, Marcus Semien has the second most hits with 140, and Nolan Arenado third most with 139. At bat leaders in the American League, Jose Abreu leads with 443. In the National League, Jonathan Villar leads with 455. Doubles leaders in the American League, Anthony Rendon has the most with 39. 3 behind him, Jose Abreu, who has 36. Miguel Andujar and Whit Merrifield are tied with the third most. They're each at 31. In the National League, Jonathan Villar leads with 48 doubles. Christian Yelich behind him by a large margin, 13 behind Villar with 35. Trey Turner and Juan Soto tied with the third most. They're both at 31. Triples leaders in the American League, Adalberto Mondesi has the most with 7. Adam Eaton and Jose Altuve tied with the second most. They're each at 6. In the National League, Jonathan Villar has the most with 13. Victor Robles and Hunter Pence each have the second most. They're both at 7. Home run leaders in the American League, Justin Upton still the leader with 36. JD Martinez, Gleyber Torres, and Chris Davis each tied for second best with 31. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt the leader with 38 home runs. He's passed Ronald Acuna Jr., who has the second most now with 37, and Pete Alonso rounds out the top 3 with 30. RBI leaders in the American League, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. at 92, one behind him Chris Davis with 91, and Mitch Moreland has the third most with 85. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt leads. He's one away from 100. He's at 99, and he has a large lead in the National League. Freddie Freeman has the next most, but he's at 82. Eugenio Suarez and Manny Machado third best on this list, tied for third best with 81. Run scored leaders in the American League, JD Martinez has the most with 84. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. has the most with 89. Stolen base leaders in the American League, Malik Smith and Adalberto Mondesi each have the most. They're at 25. D. Gordon rounds out the top 3 with 21. In the National League, Starling Marte leads with 37. 2 behind him, Trey Turner with 35. And Jonathan Villar has the third most with 30. Walks leaders in the American League, Rhys Hoskins has the most with 68. In the National League, Mookie Betts has the most with 74. On base percentage leaders in the American League, Miguel Cabrera has the highest at a .420, Josh Bell second highest at a .409, and Carlos Santana third highest at a .406. In the National League, Christian Yelich has the most with a .446, Paul Goldschmidt second most with a .442, and Ronald Acuna Jr. third most with a .427 OBP. Slugging percentage leaders in the American League, JD Martinez has the highest at a .618, Justin Upton slightly lower than Martinez's, but he's also at a .618, and Josh Bell, same thing, he's at a .618 too, but slightly lower than Upton's. He's third best on this leaderboard. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. leads with a .721, Paul Goldschmidt getting back up towards 700, but not quite there yet, he's at a .699 slugging percentage, and Christian Yelich rounds out the top 3 with a .673. On base percentage plus slugging percentage leaders in the American League, Josh Bell has a 1.027 OPS, JD Martinez behind him with a 1.023, Josh Donaldson has a 1.011, and Chris Davis is at a 1.003. Those are the 4 players in the AL with an OPS over 1,000. In the National League, there are also 4 players with an OPS over 1,000. Ronald Acuna Jr. is at a 1.148, Paul Goldschmidt's at a 1.141, Christian Yelich is at a 1.119, and Nolan Arenado is at a 1.013. Moving on to pitcher leaderboards, starting with wins leaders in the American League. There are 5 pitchers tied with the most wins. Kenta Maeda, Hyunjin Ryu, Jordan Montgomery, Lucas Giolito, and Jake Odorizzi all have 12 wins. In the National League, Walker Buehler leads with 14, Steven Strasburg one behind him with 13, and Madison Bumgarner rounds out the top 3 with 11. Losses leaders in the American League, Kenta Maeda has the least amount with 1. In the National League, Walker Buehler has the least amount with 2. Saves leaders in the American League, Liam Hendriks, Roberto Ozuna, and Brad Hand all tied with the most. They're at 35. In the National League, Craig Kimbrell leads with 38. Giovanni Gallegos and Kenley Jansen each tied with the second most. They're at 36. ERA leaders in the American League, Kenta Maeda has the lowest at a 2.37. Jake Odorizzi, second lowest at a 2.45, and Daniel Norris, third lowest at a 2.71. In the National League, Marcus Stroman and Walker Buehler have the same ERA, which also qualifies for the lowest. They're both at a 2.25, and Steven Strasburg, third lowest at a 2.47. Home runs allowed among American League pitchers, Kenta Maeda has the lowest amount with 9. In the National League, Carlos Martinez has allowed the least amount with 8. Shutout leaders in the American League, Masahiro Tanaka has the most with 4, Garrett Cole is 3, and Jake Odorizzi is at 2. In the National League, Jacob deGrom has the most with 5, Zach Wheeler second most with 3, Sandy Alcantara, Aaron Nola, Merrill Kelly, Walker Buehler, and Clayton Kershaw all have 2. Strikeout leaders in the American League, Garrett Cole has the most with 179, Lucas Giolito 11 behind him with 168, and Jake Odorizzi rounds up the top 3 with 162. In the National League, Steven Strasburg leads with 180. Yu Darvish has the second most along with Aaron Nola. They're both at 162. Complete games thrown among American League pitchers. Masahiro Tanaka has thrown the most with 4. Garrett Cole second most with 3. And Aaron Savali third most with 2, along with Jake Odorizzi, who has 2 as well. In the National League, Jacob deGrom has 5. Zach Wheeler has 4. And Aaron Nola third most with 3. Innings pitched leaders in the American League, Hyunjin Ryu leads with 156 innings recorded. In the National League, Steven Strasburg leads with 153 and a third innings recorded. Walks allowed among American League pitchers, Carlos Carrasco has allowed the least amount with 26. In the National League, Brett Anderson has allowed the least amount with 27. Whip leaders in the American League, Jake Odorizzi has the lowest at a 107, Hyunjin Ryu second lowest at a 108, and Sean Manaea third lowest at a 109. In the National League, Jacob deGrom has a 107, Steven Strasburg second lowest at a 108, and Marcus Stroman third lowest at a 109. Pitching war leaders in the American League, Jake Odorizzi has the highest at a 4.1, Masahiro Tanaka second highest at a 3.5, and Shane Bieber third highest at a 3.4. In the National League, Aaron Nola has the highest at a 3.8, Jacob deGrom slightly lower than Nola's, but he's also at a 3.8, and Steven Strasburg rounds out the top 3 at a 3.6. Batting war leaders in the American League, Yohan Moncada and DJ LeMahieu each have a 6.1, and Yasmani Grandal third best with a 5.9. And in the National League, Marcus Semien has the highest at a 7. Christian Yelich and Jonathan Villar close to him. They're each at 6.9s. These have been your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Wednesday, July the 29th, 2020. I'm Nicholas Callis. You've been watching Major League Baseball's virtual network.